Well, Congress has unveiled another bloated piece of shit that is a spending bill. And guess what? It was put forward by both parties. So that whole ruse where they pretend to fight over whether or not American workers can get paid, that's not going to happen this time because they all got their priorities. It's a big spending package that is a middle finger to every American taxpayer. Here's the bill. I linked to it in the newsletter this morning. It's over 1,000 pages, and it totals over $1.7 trillion in funding. Now, this is not just let's keep the lights on kind of funding. This is let's keep the lights on and more. And you know they always sneak in things that would never pass a single vote in these spending packages. This time was no different. And again, this was put forward by both parties, which means they're not going to fight about it. They both already agreed, and both sides are just writing a blank check. They're just spending like drunken sailors. Now, here's a real kick in the pants that I said makes me want to just punch things. Remember the whole healthcare eligibility bit that they fought over last year when we had the longest government shutdown in history, where Republicans are saying we need more eligibility checks to just pay people into Medicare. And Democrats are saying, absolutely not. We want everyone in Medicare. We just want it. And they fought over that for weeks and weeks. People didn't get paid. Well, they're not going to fight over that this time because those eligibility requirements have been expanded, and that's permanent. Now, take a look here. This is where the fight just disappeared, page 772 of the bill. It's called Healthcare Extenders.
That's all I got to. I got to about 720 and I fell asleep.
Oh, yeah, I guess I got farther than you. Well, these temporary pandemic expansions in health and welfare programs are now baked in as permanent. It's a permanent cost for taxpayers. So someone may not be sick, may be willing and able to work, well, not willing, able to work, an able-bodied person, but they'll still get Medicare because we're expanding all eligibility. We're just doing it. It's so that hard-fought battle from last time, that was all a charade, a ruse, theater. So fun, right? So middle finger to all of them over this. Now, here's another kick in the pants. Again, not just keep the lights on, but also they're buried several hundred pages deep is something Congress also considers non-negotiable, which is money for Israel. On page 101 of 1,059, you find provisions allocating hundreds of millions of dollars for Israeli missile defense programs, including the Iron Dome and other joint U.S.-Israel systems. Once again, Congress has structured things so that funding the U.S. government is linked to funding a foreign country's defense system. I don't think there's any other way to see it. They sold us down the road on this one after pretending play fighting last year. If you're not pissed, you're not awake. I don't know what to do with you, but come over to my house and I will get you pissed and we'll read this together. Joining us to discuss is Daniel McAdams from the Ron Paul Institute. Thank you for joining us. You look pissed. That was a scowl if I ever saw one, and rightly so.
Don't insult our guests out of the gate like that.
Well, it's appropriate. I mean, do you want to give us a facial expression for how you feel about the spending bill? Okay. See?
Yeah, that's better.
Why don't you put that into words? I'll stop talking.
Well, the funny thing about the emergency COVID thing, as Milton Friedman has reported to have said, there's nothing so permanent as a temporary government program, right? So there you have it. I mean, it almost makes you think that the whole November brouhaha, the longest shutdown in history, was just a tee up for what they want to do anyway, which is to put a bunch of crap in the next one and say, well, don't make us do this again. I mean, we're a country held hostage. I mean, you teed it up perfectly, Natalie, because we're facing a massive ice storm. Our infrastructure is total crap. You know, it's falling apart everywhere. Not that we want the federal government to be in control of it, but nevertheless, that extra $4 billion that we're sending to Israel on top of what we normally send them, well, that probably could have gone a long way to keep us from freezing ourselves to death, especially when, of course, we're sending it to a very wealthy country. So, yeah, that's what they do. They spend. They don't care. That's why actually there was a Gallup poll that came out this past week saying that the younger generation, for the largest percentage in history, despise both political parties. And I think we're seeing why that's true here. They hate both parties.
Well, don't you hate when people say, I told you so? Yeah, that's me, actually, because I did tell you Sorry, but I told you that gold and silver were going to reap the benefits of excessive money printing, the Fed just printing money like crazy, overvalued markets, global unrest. It's here. It's happened. Gold and silver have both soared to all-time highs. So I hope you called our friends at Lear Capital and you bought some. If you didn't, trust me, it's not too late. Experts are predicting even higher prices ahead. And they get it. They know what's coming. Isn't it time, folks? Get yourself some gold and silver today. Call the best in the business. I personally use them. So does Natalie. We both do. And our kids do as well in their IRAs. Lear Capital, it's a free phone call. There's no obligation to purchase, just education information on protecting and growing your wealth with gold and silver. I'm sure there are many of you that have called and haven't purchased yet for whatever reason. Don't make the same mistake twice. Now is the time to get some gold shipped directly to you or shift some dollars in your retirement accounts over to physical gold and silver. It's easy to do. Natalie and I have done it for both, and I've been extremely satisfied with Lear's knowledge, their service, their prices. I urge you to call today and learn more. Call them, 1-800-613-3557, or go to learredacted.com, and you can receive up to $20,000 in free bonus medals with a qualified purchase. It's being, of course, run by the Uni-party, and that's what they want. They want us to be sort of bifurcated, set up in these little fiefdoms where we're fighting, right against left, left against right. And really, we always sort of fight over the culture war stuff, the abortion stuff, that kind of, right? But the LGBTQ painting rainbow flags on crosswalks, things like that, right? But really, at the end of the day, they are in lockstep. The Uni-party is in lockstep on all of this stuff. The size of government never shrinks. That's the old joke, right? It never shrinks. And we are heading for a disaster. I mean, you and, of course, Dr. Paul have been covering what's happening to the U.S. dollar. This is not a joke.
Yeah, when you have the combination of proliferate spending and also an aggressive foreign policy, then you have countries running for shelter from the dollar, and we're seeing that right now. We're seeing even in Davos during these meetings this past couple of days, where Canada said, "We're out of here, dudes. We want to deal with China. At least they don't try to tell us what to do." I mean, that's what happens, And it's funny, but it's not funny. But there's nothing like a must-pass bill to get everyone to put all the junk they want into it. All the pet projects. The Israel spending is bad because it emboldens them to do things they shouldn't do, like attack their neighbors constantly, right? In fact, just as Netanyahu was being accepted on the board of peace, he was bombing the crap out of Lebanon again today, out of a village in Lebanon today. So there you go. There you have it. So not only does it embolden them to do things they shouldn't be doing, and discouraging them from making peace from their neighbors, what would be good for their neighbors and for themselves, but it also is corporate welfare for very, very well-connected and wealthy Americans in the military-industrial complex. Everything you see here, I'm looking at the numbers, Natalie, on your great post on X. Every one of these billions and billions of dollars is being transferred from hardworking people in the United States to very wealthy, well-connected people in Washington, D.C. And that's a massive ripoff for all of us.
When I opened the bill, the first thing I did, Control F, I searched for Ukraine and Israel. I just want to go straight to it. What's going out, right? And this bill actually doesn't have money for Ukraine. And now, Scott Bessent this week is saying Europe has got to finish paying for this. We're pretty much done. But there's still ways we're funneling money through contractors. It's just not in this spending bill.
Right. It's all hidden.
Right. And so, can we make any kind of victory lap that maybe we're done paying for, Ukraine University?
No, I would not be surprised to find it somewhere. And there's a lot of stuff hidden in this, in the state appropriations part. And I haven't read all 85 million pages of it, I'll be honest with you, but I did read a couple of things.
As long as we're confessing.
In the state, yeah, but in the states, in the state approps part, they kept all the money for the National Endowment for Democracy. This is all the work that we were told the Doge was doing. They're cutting all this crap out. And there was, the Congressman Clifton from Arizona put in an amendment to cut the money, $315 million for NED. And it was defeated because 80-some Republicans crossed over and voted to keep it. And the thing that bothers me about the right and left is they frame this as if, NED is this leftist, woke outfit. No, the NED, as we know, was a primary source of training and funding for these two NGOs that were behind the attempted overthrow of the Iranian government, the most violent, as the more comes out that the thugs that were going in there and just killing people willy-nilly, this is what NED does. It's not right or left. It's the regime, it's the deep state, it's the Uni-party, and that's what it's all about. And they kept the money. They can't even cut this kind of money.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like, if Epstein, I wouldn't be surprised if Epstein's receiving money in the bill somehow. They're just
Right.
they can't stop themselves. What happened to Doge?
Like is USAID back and back, and is PBS getting their funding again? I mean, what's
right?
Well, where did we go?
I think we should point out the National Endowment was instrumental in this Venezuela military operation. We know this now, at least. So we are still, Republicans are using it, even as they pretend, you're right, that it's a leftist organization.
Sadly, it was under Ronald Reagan. The neocons talked Ronald Reagan into creating the NED. They said we could do all the great things and promote democracy, and we won't even have to put in the CIA, And Reagan, sadly, is one of his big mistakes, one of his really huge mistakes, is to allow the neocons to create an NED. But once you create it, it's an overt CIA, and they can do all sorts of things. They've been trying to overthrow the Venezuelan government since Hugo Chavez's days. You don't have to like Chavez or Maduro to say this is really, why are we spending all this money doing it? It's really not an important thing for us.
And like what Philip just asked about USAID, we know that a lot of it's been funded, folded into the State Department, right under Marco Rubio.
That's exactly important.
So that is now there. Like, how much are they still receiving? And then also Doge. Like, what is going on with Doge?
AID may even be worse, because now it's become Marco Rubio's little satchel that he can open up and send the money wherever he wants to. A little bit for Cuba, overthrowing Cuba. I suspect that there's a lot less oversight now, that the thing called USAID is gone, and it's now under sort of everything goes to Marco. Have you noticed that? Literally everything that comes up goes to Marco Rubio. He's got to run Venezuela. He's got to run this peace thing. He's got to run AID. The guy's a genius.
I saw a joke yesterday that
he's a genius.
Marco Rubio finds out that he's JD Vance's new nanny.
The memes are funny. It's him sitting on the couch, like kind of defeated, and now they always dress him up. Now he's got to run Greenland, so he's in a full parka with.
He's in Mary Poppins because he's going to be the nanny.
Yeah, everything is folded under there, and you're right about this. So now we don't have like the boogeyman of USAID. It's just a name change. It's just now folded into the State Department budget, and we'll never know about it anymore.
Yeah, that's a problem. I in the old days, I used to follow NED really closely and all the things that they used to be very good about reporting. But the thing is, people like investigators like me back in the day were able to find these things, and so they would find ways to hide the reporting and make it more difficult. It is more difficult to find, but there are great researchers out there. Michael Tracy's one of them. I think he's the one that blew the whistle on this whole, the two main sources of information for what was happening on the ground in Iran were suspiciously located within 10 miles of the CIA headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia. So, there you have it. The something in Iran was actually not in Iran. It's in Fairfax, Virginia.
Right.
So, that's how it works.
Well, Daniel, we'll get you out of here on this because you just brought this up. I'm just curious on this Iran piece. Maybe you can speak to it. We're hearing that what was uncovered with this whole operation was Mossad was basically hung out to dry. And this entire Mossad operation now in Iran has been basically exposed. It had been years long in the works, and now it's been totally exposed. Trump sort of, as Scott Ritter said, basically backstabbed Netanyahu and basically got rid of Mossad, all part of this operation and money that we're talking about.
I wish that were the case. I can't imagine Trump and backstabbing Netanyahu in any way, shape, or form. We certainly helped them take care of the Kurds, though. The Iranians took care of the Kurds that were crossing over from Iraq, and they were the muscle for this whole operation, with the Kurds coming in from Iraq, and they were slaughtered on the border. But this was in terms of the other muscle on the ground was a Mossad operation, and they were using this Starlink that was smuggled in. And to his discredit, I'm sort of a fan of Elon Musk, but I think it's a big mistake for him to get involved in these kinds of operations. And he was very much all in for this. My guess is he didn't fully understand what it was all about in the extreme violence that they were trying to use to overthrow the government of Iran. It was a mistake to get involved and do the bidding of CIA regime change operations. I think it kind of discredits himself for doing that. But it may well be the case now. They may have been able to clean out a lot of these Mossad undercover agents. I mean, Iran is a massively huge country, and it's got a lot of borders. I mean, we haven't been able to, at least till recently, one of Trump's triumphs is to help us guard our own borders, but it's very difficult when you've got enemies all around you.
Yeah.
Well, the money continues to flow, Daniel, and they're doing a better job of trying to hide it from us. So, well, you know, and you're the Pentagon, you have, 7 straight audits that you fail, but you get a new $1.5 trillion budget as a reward.
But I think the lack of fight here tells us everything we need to know. They're not going to fight. It's not major in the press. It's not a big, we're talking about other things. Like, we just...
Well, it's the midterms.
We're not going to pay attention to it. Yeah, exactly
well, here's
right.
Speaker Johnson. This is Speaker Johnson. He's a deer in the headlights. He's the worst speaker I can remember. I mean, he's terrible.
Yeah, it's the bend over party. That's what it feels.
The bend over Uni-party.
The bend over Uni-party, right.
Take it.
As opposed to what I floated recently as the fuck it party, which is only anti-war. You're invited to join my party.
I will join that one.
I have no leadership at all. Just
I
an
need
idea.
the bumper stickers for that one.
We're still workshopping the name. Might not play well in elementary schools, but we're working on it. Daniel McAdams, great to see you as always, my friend. Thanks for your great analysis as always.
Thank you.